Hi, this is Lori and welcome to my series on adventures in soldering. Sometimes there are some misadventures. In this two-part series, we're going to be doing a line following kit. In part one, we'll cover most of the soldering parts, and part two will be the kind of mechanical parts of the car and getting it working. Well, I like to put this little quote in here in this series. Just want to make sure everybody knows I am not an expert at soldering. This is just my attempt to improve my soldering skills. So I decided to do some kits and various projects that involve a fair amount of soldering. So if I can't be a good example, then I'll just have to be a horrible warning. Well, this is the kit that I got on Amazon. Runs about $10. It looked fun, and it's a line following car, and so that's something we often do in robotics for a basic robotics kind of program. So I thought this might be fun because it's not doing any programming, it's just using a chip here, an IC to control the car and control the motors, and read some photoresistors, take some input from photoresistors and decide which motor to drive. So I thought that was fun. A couple more pictures of it down here. And this is everything that's in it. So you can see the photoresistors, some potentiometers, capacitors, the little chip here, LM393 I guess it is, and a couple motors. So for $10 I didn't think that was too bad. It comes with this, the other side has the instructions on it, and then a little oval for you to drive around. So I saw some negative comments about it didn't have any instructions, but on the other side of that little oval there is a QR code, and if you go to that, you'll find about an 19 page instruction manual that is okay. Yeah, I mean, some of the English might be a little hard to follow, but lots of pictures and so forth, and how to do the kit. So I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't get left puzzling what to do first and what to do second and so forth. So yeah, I can recommend this kit from that point of view. And then here's the circuit. I'm going to link to a video of somebody I enjoy watching. Pile of Stuff is his YouTuber name, and he does a lot of kit builds, and he has a lot of knowledge of electrical engineering, and explained this circuit way better than I'm going to explain it. The basic idea is that it's going to read these photoresistors here, and based on which one has the most or least resistance, it's going to come into that LM393 chip, which is used as comparators, and based on the resistance, it's going to decide which motor to run. All right, well, the first step will be just checking out these resistors and making sure they're the right resistance. So they came in packs, so the ones that are four that I have 4 of should be 51 ohms. So let's do a quick check of that. I'll turn this on to that. Plug that in and just check them out and make sure they're about 51 ohm. Yep. All right. And then these next two, one should be 10 ohm and one should be 1K. So that'd be the 1Ks right there, middle, and then these, let's get one of these out, and these should be really low resistance, 10 ohms it says. Yep, that's right. Okay, I think we got it. So we'll start with the resistors and get them put in. Okay, well, our first step is to put the 4 51 ohm resistors in, and they go right there and right there. So try to bend these really close. They're pretty tight when I look at it, so I'm going to try to use my, those pliers to bend it really close to the edge there, instead of just trying to do that by hand. See if I can't get them in there neat and tidy. Alright, so let's try, see if we can get this one in. Okay, that went in good. And then we'll flip it over and we'll bend that back to keep it in. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, got them in, and I've got my PCB pretty firmly fixed with my little clipper thingies. So I'll just do one of them on the camera, and then I'll do the rest with my absorber on, my smoke absorber on. So I'll try to be quick. I saw some feedback that this was not a very tolerant board, so we'll try to do that quickly. Well, that went pretty smoothly. And I'll come in here like this and try to put some right here. That looked good too. Alright, I'll do the other three off the camera with my absorber on. Alright, we got that done pretty well. I think those came out pretty good. There we are. So we're going to do the next ones. The 10 ohms go there, and the 1Ks go up here. So we'll put them in and solder them up next, and I'll show you what that looks like when I get done with that. Okay, as I was trying to put in the I put in the 10 ohms here, but the 1Ks really close to these, so I'm going to clip the ones that I've already soldered in, because they were kind of in the way, all these. So get those clipped and out of the way, and we'll finish up the soldering. Well, I think that came out all right. Looked pretty good. We'll clip them off and be ready for the next. I think that does all the resistors, so go to the next step. Yeah, and they look pretty good on the front. All, you know, at a nice level. Didn't have any sticking up, so I think I've improved my skills with the resistors. It's going better. Alright, on to the next step. Okay, next up is the IC socket. So that's what it looks like. There, and pokes through. There. Look okay. You need to check and make sure these aren't bent. And this is where the brains of this car are gonna go. That's the comparator chip. I'll need to straighten up the legs of that a little bit later when that goes in, but we won't be putting that in because that'd be a mistake. If we hit that with the iron, we can mess that up. But so I'll set that aside. So we just want to put this in, and we have to notice that there's a socket on this, a little notch, I should say, a little notch on the socket on this side. And we look at the board, we'll also see that there's a notch right there. So that's the orientation we want. So we'll put that in. Okay, it fits pretty firmly. But last time I did something, I hit the thing and pushed it out a little bit, which wouldn't be hard to do, especially with my skill level. So I'm going to put a little of my high temperature tape on here just to kind of fix this down to the board nice and tight, like that. Right, that, I think that'll help me not push it out, but we'll see. Maybe it's pointless. All right, so we'll get ready to solder that. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. So I'll do the corners first, and kind of like header pins. So I think feel very comfortable with that. And we'll get this one. There we go. All right, I'll do the rest with my absorber on. Okay, that went pretty smoothly. I'm pretty comfortable with those kinds of things. So you can take a look at it, and it looks pretty good. No big huge bobs of solder on there. And let's just take off that tape. And it feels pretty firm. So I think we got that one done. Okay, it's time for the transistors. And they go right here and right there. And you kind of bend back this middle leg and fit it so that the flat goes like that. There we go. There. All right, so there, you can kind of see it in like that and like that. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm not going to see it all the way down, so I think that's about as far as it's going to go. Let's see if we can do this other one. These holes are so tiny. There we go. A little bit better on the second one. Okay. That looks about right. And I'm just kind of push them apart just a little bit so I can get to them. And they're in there pretty firmly, so I'm not going to put any tape on them. All right, let's get these on. We'll start right there. Feel the solder to that. Okay, I think that went pretty well. And we'll try to get this one. I think that went fine. And this one too. Yeah, I might want to reflow that just a little bit. All right, I'm just going to quick do these as well. There we go. All right, I got a little too much on that time. Take it up the leg. I've seen people do that as a way to kind of get rid of excess solder. There we go. And clean my tip a little bit. And let's try to get that in there. There we go. There. I think that went okay. All right. Let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, a little too much over here, but I can clip that away. I think the other ones came out all right. Okay, time for the LEDs. So long leg is the positive, and when you look in the instructions, they tell you to put the negative leg in that way, and you can just barely see it if you look through a magnifying glass, but there's a little edge along the negative pole that instead of being round, it looks kind of chopped off. And if I look in a with a magnifying glass, I can see that. So that must be the direction they want. And then you can kind of look on the PCB and see that this one goes to one of the resistors. So I guess that makes sense to me. So we'll have the negative leg go out. There we go. Okay. So we'll just bend these a little bit. And I may do some tape on these too, to try to make sure that they stay nice and flush, because I want them to be straight up and down. So yeah, I think I'll tape them. And then we'll solder that. Alright, I taped them on. Kind of looks like a mess, but I think they're nice and flush now. So we'll go ahead and get them kind of put in here. Like so, and like so. And maybe I'll just do one here on the top so it's not in the way. Put that out. And get these, yeah, I guess it looks pretty lined up. I guess it won't be too bad. Anyways, so we'll work on this. Ah, that moved. Let me, I didn't get that locked in good enough back there, because that kind of holds it in place. Put another one up here too. That should hold it better. Alright, let's try again. Put that down. Try to get that solder in there. And well, there we go. And we'll try this one, maybe from this side. There we go. Let me flow that down just a little bit. Alright, I think that looks okay. Alright, let's see how we did. Take this tape off. And this tape as well. Okay. Well, not too bad, I guess. Well, let's go ahead and clip these off. We recommend eyewear when you're snipping these things. Alright, well, not exactly perfect on this side. I didn't get it all the way down because I didn't tape it very good. That tape was not working for me in that corner. Alright, I'm happy enough with that. Well, next up are these potentiometers. They look like that. So they go, well, I put one in already, and one goes here. So not pretty clear which way they go. I found I had to kind of spread them just a little bit more to get it in there. Oh, that one went good. Alright. This one is in really firmly. You can see they sit up a little bit, right? They don't go flush to the board. This one not in that firmly, so we'll use some of our handy dandy tape, and maybe we can keep them down here. Keep them from moving on us. Tape them to the transistors there, on the side of the board. Keep them in good and tight. Alright, and then just got to get those spots. Alright, so that's next. Okay, I'm going to solder this, but I'm going to turn on my smoke absorber. I'm probably sniffing too much of this stuff, so that'll be the end of my discussion. Let's see how I do with getting this going. Get a little tin up my thing a little bit more. Alright, here we go. right, let's see how that went. Oh, it's a little warm. Tape off. And yeah, I think they're pretty good. So they're on. So next up is our capacitors. I should say long leg is positive, just like the LEDs. So yeah, you can see the negative sign there. So we'll put the positive side here, like so. And I get that in. And I'll do a little bit of a bend. It's another one of those that I'm not going to go all the way down. And I think that's okay. We don't want to break anything. So I'll put the positive side down. I think I might be able to get a little bit lower. There. Okay, we'll do our bend. Okay. Wow, that looks pretty easy. And they're not moving at all, so I think that'll be pretty easy to do. Okay, let's get those soldered. All right, we're gonna turn this on. Last take wasn't too bad. You could actually hear me over it. I wasn't thinking you could, so I'm gonna start using it because I don't really like those fumes. So we'll go for this one first. Set up there. More. Get that in there. Let's try again. There we go. And that one. And I mostly just do this to coach myself. So I'm pretty sure I don't always say stuff that makes sense. Time. All right, that came out okay. We'll go ahead and snip these. And I think they look all right. And pretty flush, so I'm pretty happy with that. Straight up and down. Don't look raggedy. Right, our next step is to get this switch on, and I studied the diagrams a lot. The switch goes right here, and I noticed that there's a little notch on here, and when you look at the switch, there's a side with the notch on it right there, and looking at the pictures, that seems to be the way it goes. So push it in. It goes in pretty firmly and comes through the board. I don't think it's gonna come out on me, so I'm just gonna solder it like that. All right, let's get this going. And we'll do the corners. And this one. Just keep going. Next up are our photo resistors, and they look like that. And we need to mark about 5 millimeters on here because we're going to put them on the bottom of the car and they're going to hang down to detect the light. So I'm going to mark about 5 centimeters. I'm going to do the same for the other one. don't think this has to be perfect. Hopefully it'll help me bend it at the right spot and try to get it in there. So they go in this way to here. So it's going to be a little tricky because we're going to have to solder around them. It's going to want to fall all the way in. So let's see if we can't kind of jiggle this a little bit and bend it so it'll stay at right about 5 millimeters here. That's my plan. Let's see if I'm going to be successful at this. All right. And I think well, that's not particularly good looking. I'm going to put a little tape on there to try to keep it, you know, oriented in exactly that spot. And hopefully that'll work. All right, so I'll do the other one, get them taped, and then we'll solder them. Well, I taped them here. Trying to hold down the leads and keep it firmly in place, and hopefully you can kind of see it there, sitting above the board. It's relatively straight, and I think that's about 5 millimeters. Yeah, we'll see. I'm only gonna do one first because I'm nervous about about this one. So it's going to be soldering right with the component there, which I think is going to be tricky. So I'll put this like that. I'm also going to bring in my, so this might wash things out a little bit, but I've got a little magnifying light that I sometimes use. Turn on the, we'll give this a go. Pretty good. Look her down to see this other one. All right, I got them on. I think they look pretty good. I left a little bit of the leads. I guess in case they ever need to be adjusted down some or something. Not sure I would ever do that, but I decided I didn't need to cut them back until maybe we see the car working. Yeah, so I think that's about right. And now we have to do the same thing with the LEDs. They also have to go on the bottom, the white ones. And they said that this needs to be 14 millimeters. Yeah, from the top of here to where it comes through. So we'll mark that here. And there's 10. Yeah, okay. And that's right at 14. Maybe it's more like 15, but I think that's going to be all right. All right, we'll do the same for this one. And we'll do that. Okay, let's get them in there. Bring my my board back. And yeah, so looks like the positive pole will need to go here, like that. Wow, it doesn't want to go through there. There we go. And I'm going to find our marks. There they are. And that looks, where I've got it going is right about how I saw it. So I'm going to bend it just a little bit. See if I've got it about right. Yeah, I think so. I think when we kind of do a tape down, that's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to get these set and taped the same way, and we'll get them soldered on. Alright, we got them in there, about the right height. Let's see if I can get them on very carefully here. And we'll work the other one. Maybe from the back here. Okay, I think they look pretty good. I looked at them closely under my magnifying glass, and they look reasonable to me. So I'll just trim them up here, and you know, I guess I'm committing. I'm just going to trim these pretty flat here. Oops. Need to get this one up. I'll pull it up here. There we go. Good. Use that. Might as well clip the other one too. Yeah, there we go. They're all clipped up, and here they are on there. Helps to see it straight on. And the other way. Yeah. Okay. Well, now we just need to do the mechanical parts of this, and just a teeny bit of soldering to set up the motors.